Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome. My name is Tommo, and this is the pre-race Chinwag for the 2022 Japanese Grand Prix. I'm not here because my camera's not switched on. Smooth. Oh, my light's not on either. Oh my, honestly. What is... I call myself a professional. I literally forget... There we go. I was on time, alright? Something had to go right. Welcome, everyone. Thank you all for coming. Yeah, I'm together, Brian. I'm together, mate. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's the quality... Exactly, Malin. It's the quality we all come to expect from me. Thank you all for coming. I was planning on streaming yesterday, okay? And we all know why. But hello, Pete. Good to see you, mate. But obviously it wasn't to be. And we'll get into all of that, right? We'll get into it. But thank you all for coming. Hello, Professor Z, Faust, King Otto, Capital, TKF1, Rur3, Ward, Van der Zalm, Poppy, Cohen, Findley, Nicholas, JP11, Nelly, Emilio, Matt, Nicholas, RNTJ, Jaren, Mr. Mo, Emilio, Jamie. Happy birthday to Minton. Yes, it was Minton's birthday yesterday. He's looking exceptionally. Actually, let me get the picture up on screen that I posted of my beautiful son on his birthday. He was 4 yesterday. Hang on, give me 2 seconds. Let me just save that. Save that in my downloads. And then if I do this and do this, then all of a sudden, boom. Oh, wait. No, that's not worked. There we go. Wait, why is it not? Why is it not letting me put Minton on here? That's odd. I'm trying, everyone. I'm trying to give you the Minton content. But for some reason, why is this not working? It's just a JPEG as well. Hang on. Let me try and drag. So that works. But it won't let me bring Minton onto... that was Mohammed bin Sulayem's hair, by the way, that you could see on screen. Oh, for some reason it's not letting me bring Minton onto the... That's not very nice, is it? That's not very good. Hang on. If I do... No, let me do it this way. I'm going to have to do it the long, drawn-out method, all right? Trust me, it's worth it, okay? Because he looks well cute. Okay. Where's the picture? Wait, what? Okay, I'm going to have to sort that out later. I don't understand why it's not letting me show you Minton. I really don't. This is very unfortunate. Hang on. Come on. We're going to get through this, all right? We're going to get through this. He is well cute, all right? I promise you. Right, so just... Oh my god, now it's open in Photoshop. Okay. We're just going to move. I'm almost... Maybe I am as incompetent as the FIA. Who knows? Perhaps that is just the case. Is it going to work now? No, still not going to work. Good, excellent. Right, let's talk about the Japanese Grand Prix, shall we? We are back, finally, for the first time in a long time. Round 18 of the 2022 season. Once again, Max can wrap it up. Will he wrap it up? It's not a given. It's not a given, but it could very well happen. We'll see. Thank you, Matthew, mate, for the 10 Aussie. Appreciate that, mate. 'Tis midnight. I need Tommo and Minton, then I can sleep. Well, I'm going to be here for about an hour, so maybe a bit less. At 45, usually these are about 45 minutes, actually. So, you know, don't not sleep because I'm here. Thank you, Jamie, as well. Big up the Aussies. Quick question before we get wagging. Do you have a PO box or something for gifts? No, I don't. No, I don't. I mean, maybe one day, Jamie, but no, I don't. I'm afraid you're gonna have to keep the gifts in the super chat form. But appreciate it, mate. Thank you very much. And thank you, Suyash, for joining Friends of Tommo. Very kind of you. Appreciate it. Right, I'm gonna try and I've got to get Minton on this stream. Okay, it has to happen. It will happen. I've resaved the image, and now hopefully everything will come up Millhouse because he looks so cute. I can't possibly not put him on the stream. It actually makes me tear up just how beautiful he is. Right, come on. There we go. There. Right. Who wants to see my face? Nah, none of that. It's just Minton's giving you the look at him. Look at how beautiful he is with his little hat on. That he's 4 now. Look at him. Oh my god. Honestly, this dog, man. Honestly. Look at him. Cheers again, Jamie, mate. Big L. Look, maybe one day. You'll be the first to know, all right? Maybe one day the PO box will happen. Look at his face, though. Look at the way the hat, like, on his ears. Oh, God. Honestly. He's just too angelic. Too angelic. Oh, get yourself together, Tom. I love him. I love him too much. I really do. But anyway. Minton is 4. It's been, hang on, 2019 was the last. Yeah, so last time we raced in, last time we raced, what I'll do actually, I'll just put Minton small in the corner so you can still see him, okay? You get the best of both worlds, okay? You can just go down there, mate. There you go, boom, lovely. So the last time we raced in Japan was 2019. He would have been, he would have just turned 1. Damn. Cute, man. Cute. Nobody puts Minton in the corner. Well, can't make me. Hang on. How would that look actually? Wide Minton. How would a wide Minton look? Oh no! It broke it. There we go. There's wide Minton. Let me bring it. Then bring it to the front. So sorry, I'm just kind of pissing about at the minute. There we go. There's wide Minton. Winton. Right, anyway, let's carry on. Sorry, I know a lot of you probably don't. Well, no, I'm sure like most of you care and realise how beautiful and cute he is. If you don't, then, I mean, I think that's more a you problem, if I'm honest. Yeah, it's been an awfully long time since we've been at Suzuka. One of my favourite tracks on the calendar. Actually, I'll get a little poll going. What do you make of Suzuka? So I'll give you 4 options. So is it great? Is it alright? Bad. What do you make of Suzuka as a circuit? Because typically we don't see many overtakes. It obviously has a lot of historical significance in the sport, a lot of cultural significance with Formula One in the Far East, and I think that, you can argue, 130R isn't the corner it used to be. I mean, you've got Charles Leclerc going around it one-handed because his wing mirror was hanging off, which was 2019, wasn't it? Yeah, it was, because he was in a Ferrari, and 2018 he was in the Alfa Romeo. So yeah, there's a lot of different, there are certainly caveats with it, but overall I think it's a phenomenal track. I think the drivers love it. It's a classic. I like Fuji, but I prefer Suzuka. I mean, you've got a bridge. You go over a bloody bridge. I know you go over bridges in other tracks, but I don't know. There's just something about Suzuka that just is so unique, and the challenge of it is just, it's one of them. It's one of them for sure. And most of you seem to agree. 67% of you think it's great. And only 4% of you think it's either or bad. So this is good. This is good. And also, yeah, the Japanese fan base is just like we see with the Italians, with the Tifosi, the British fans at Silverstone, with the Mexican fans in Mexico. Like the Japanese fans, there's a real kind of there's something unique about the. I mean, the hats are quality, aren't they? The hats are top tier. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google Suzuka F1 fan hat or something like that, and you'll see all the different like mad hat designs that we see at Suzuka typically. And yeah, we might be getting some rain this weekend. It has been flirted. Obviously, the closer we get to the race, the more clear the picture will become as to whether we'll get any rain. Yeah, the ideal is what? Bit of rain qualifying to mix the grid up a bit. Ideal is the rain that the race starts, because we really saw that at Singapore, didn't we? That, you know, when a race starts wet and dries out, it actually ends up not working that well because there's a drying line, and then if you go off that drying line, as Max saw when he bottomed out, but also obviously, yeah, he was on the wet side of the track, so that didn't help him in terms of the lockup, and Lewis as well. We saw that, both of them too. You can't really pass on a drying track, but when it starts dry and then it gets wetter, that's where, you know, you get some really exciting stuff going on. So thank you, Suyash, by the way, as well. Now that I've seen Wide Minton, I can finally get some sleep just past midnight here in Australia. Wide Minton loves you, okay? Wide Minton loves you. Right, so oh no, I know Lewis wasn't on the wet line when he crashed, no, but well, he was when he went for the overtake on Vettel. That's what I was talking about, Max. Anyway, right, so yeah, dry to wet is clear of wet to dry, which I think we all knew, but I think Singapore really illustrated that. Now, obviously, last time we were in Suzuka again, it was an awfully long time ago, but does anyone remember who won in 2019 when we last visited Suzuka? No cheating. Who won? Who do you reckon won? Who do you reckon won? Let's see. Look, you lot know. This is good wheel knowledge in the chat today, which is good to see. Yes, indeed, the winner was a certain Mr. Valtteri Bottas, who got a great start off the line, kept it clean pretty much. It ended up being a reasonably, you know, clean result. You had Max and Seb had contact, didn't they? Out of kind of the turn two. But yeah, Bottas got a great launch off the line. Vettel and Charles both weren't great off the line. And yeah, I was at Leclerc and Max. I couldn't remember what Ferrari it was. But yeah, Leclerc and Max tangled, and Max had to retire in the end. And VB won the race. Valtteri Bottas. My boy Valts. No, it was good result. Didn't pick up many wins in 2019, but this was one of them. So, and look, Suzuka's a track the drivers love. There's a really nice bit of I think Mercedes shared it on Twitter this morning. Nice bit of radio where Lewis is just like, "Oh, I love this track," because it is vibes. It is vibes. But say the line, Bart. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think this race will. I'm just trying to think in terms of like track characteristics. What would we say Suzuka is closest to in terms of track characteristics? Because, you know, most corners are medium to high speed. There's that kind of. There's obviously the chicane right at the end of the lap. There's the. We say Zandvoort? Interesting a lot of you say Zandvoort. I suppose Zandvoort's got the... It doesn't have the straight, but it does... Yeah, most of Zandvoort's corners are kind of medium speed. Silverstone as well, yeah. It's kind of maybe a Silverstone Zandvoort hybrid. A bit of Kota sprinkled in as well. Yeah, because obviously the S's in that first sector, quality. I love Suzuka as a track to drive. Obviously, not driven there in real life, but on the video game, you know. on the video games. Classic, mate. Classic. Suzuka's a high downfall spar. Yeah, for sure. You could say that. And again, I think this will be one that, highlights, as the season's gone, we've seen certain cars excel at certain types of tracks. So I guess that's where kind of we can look back and think, oh, like, how's it going to... But obviously, temperature-wise, weather-wise, it's quite a unique kind of spectacle. So hopefully it's something a little bit mixed up, a little bit different. But let's have a look at your predictions, shall we? And the altitude, you're right, the altitude. All of that plays a factor, We've always seen especially when we go to Mexico, altitude's a big factor there. DRS is less of a factor at altitude. It makes less of a difference. So it can make it more difficult to overtake as well. Right, anyway, here are your predictions for this weekend's Grand Prix. 31% of you think Max Verstappen is going to be driver of the weekend, and 72% of you think he's going to win the race. Red Bull 48% team of the weekend, and Latifi unfortunately takes the wooden spoon award of the 699 of you who voted. Only 16% of the vote for him. If you want to make sure that you can get involved, because I know there's about 1,100 of you here, but only 699 voted, then you better follow me on Twitter or subscribe to the channel and like the stream, all right? So just double check, right? And just make sure, because otherwise, you can't get involved. You know what I'm saying? Has there been a struggle of the weekend this season without Latifi or Danny Rick? Yeah, they are quite consistently finding their way into struggle of the weekend, unfortunately. Although, Checo was getting nominated a lot over the last few weeks, so it's good to see him not in there after obviously a very strong performance last weekend at Singapore. Please don't make me join. Oh, you can just subscribe then, Maxim. Just subscribe then. That's fine. You could do one or the other, or you could do both. But I do. Twitter's my I'm not proud of it, but I love Twitter. So Sonoda 12% of the vote, Alonso 9% for driver of the weekend, and Alpine getting up there for team of the weekend as well with 9% of the vote. So as much as Alpine haven't scored points in 2 races in a row, am I right in saying? Because I'm pretty sure that's the case, isn't it? And but there's some belief in there for sure. Which I think the Alpine car, the characteristics of the track, I would anticipate it'd do a good job if it can get to the end of the race, which is a big if. Yeah, exactly. Guilty pleasure. That's what I was looking for. Noel. That's what I was looking for. Race winner. Only 11% think Leclerc. 7% think Hamilton. And you've got to say, looking at the Red Bull package, I think as long as there's no kind of weirdness going on, you got to think that this looks like it's going to be a Max Verstappen track. Odds on Tsunoda shunting. I'm not making that call again. Look, obviously this is Yuki's first home race of his F1 career, so hopefully he has a very good time at Suzuka. I will be firmly behind that, but whether that will be the case or not is another matter entirely. I think he'll have a good weekend. I do. Last week I was like, I reckon he's going to shunt. But this week I'm like, no, he's going to have a good weekend this weekend. So, and Yuki listens to me. So, but yeah, like you say, Dane, I think it'd be interesting to see where Haas, Alfa Romeo, Alfa Tauri, because, those teams seem to kind of flip-flop in performance, whether they're close to the points or nowhere near. It depends on a kind of weekly basis. As ever, I've not got particularly high hopes for Williams and my boy Alex, but you need a lot of downforce to go well at Suzuka, and that's what they don't have. So, we'll see. We will see, shall we? We will see. But yeah, come on, Yuki. I hope Yuki can deliver the goods this weekend. That's the plan. Right, cool. Okay, so we're going through your predictions. I suppose, mine. I'll give mine as well. Who do I think is going to have a good time? I'm going to say... I'd love to, because you know full well I want Lewis to get a win this year. I really want that to happen. Do I think Suzuka is the track where it will happen? I'm not convinced this is the circuit for Mercedes. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, because that Singapore upgrade for the McLaren that Lando had on his car, but Daniel didn't. Obviously, Daniel's got it for Suzuka. That's been confirmed by McLaren, so they'll both have the upgrade. And they did say kind of they wouldn't really be able to see the full effect of it at a track like Singapore. So, yeah, I would actually say maybe I would say that McLaren. No, I think Alpine will be. I think Alpine will have the stronger weekend this weekend. And I think Ocon's not had a good race for a while, and I like Ocon, so I'm going to say Ocon's going to have a good weekend. Team of the weekend, yeah, I can get behind Alpine. They have to get back to points sooner rather than later, surely. So I'm going with that. And then race winner, yeah. Other than Max, outside of Max, I mean, it's probably Leclerc, isn't it? Why did I blame Kevin for his damage in Singapore? When did I blame Kevin for his damage? He kind of pincered with Max. I mean, I didn't blame Kevin, but cool. Yeah, Verstappen Leclerc, isn't it? Surely. And then struggle of the weekend. I mean, it's difficult to not look past Latifi, isn't it? I mean, again, the Williams has no downforce, and Latifi seemingly has very little confidence and is struggling. So yeah, we'll see. We will see. Kevin's end plate damage actually happened in contact with, did it? That's interesting. Well, no, because I know that him and Max were like side by side, weren't they? And then there was some kind of contact there, but it wasn't looked into, was it? Kevin just can't catch a break with these. They need to reinforce those Haas front wing end plates. Seriously. Yeah. I understand the black and orange flag for them. I get it, but it is kind of annoying. I get it from Kevin's point of view that it's very frustrating. It's a shame the team can't just like rip it off. I swear, like ripping off the end plate would be quicker than replacing the whole ring. Wing. I can't speak today. Williams bring low downforce wins. Yeah, they might as well. Williams just need to go for the speed traps this weekend. Oh, look who it is. It's Minton. You alright, mate? What are you doing? No, he's just wandering around. I thought he was going to come to me, but apparently not. I could trick him. Should I trick Minton? Actually, I'm going to do a poll. And I'll do whatever you guys say. Should I trick Minton to get him to come over me? Should I trick him or not? Because there's like a word that I can say that should guarantee he runs over. 81% of the vote saying 20% of you are like, no. Well, it was his birthday yesterday, so he got loads of treats. A treat is one of the words, but there's a special word that really, a certain kind of treat that really gets him. I could say walkies, but don't try. No, it's not his birthday anymore. It's not his birthday. You know, I promise I'll give him the gift the word that I'm gonna say after the stream, but it's downstairs in the fridge. Okay, 76% of you are saying yes. Right, are we ready? Okay, that's enough. That's enough of confirmation. Minton, Ham. Oh, he's not come. Minton, ham. Oh, here he comes. Minton, ham. What's this? Oh, he's just looking at me. He's just staring at me. Hello, mate. Right, come here, come here. Here we go. Okay, here he is. Here's the birthday boy. He's a massive Hamilton fan. So if I say ham, then hello, buddy. Hamilton, exactly. You can't say Lewis without Hamilton, can you, Minton? But yeah. Do you want to go on my shoulder? Parrot dog. Yeah, he has a very shiny coat, doesn't he? He does have a very shiny coat. You're a good boy, aren't you, Minton? There you go. There we go. I'm just going to raise my desk up a little bit, actually. There we go. Yeah, the German sausage has British bias, for sure. Look at all your fans, Minton. Oh, big yawn. There we go. He's had enough. Oh, you've got a bit of a smelly breath, actually. I've been giving you too many decadent TREATS paired with my shiny forehead. Exactly. Look, we glisten off one another. It just transitions perfectly. Shiny white skin to shiny brown fur. You know. Firehead. Now, technically, that is a literal forehead. His is like a one, not even a one head. That's like a one head. Yeah, there you go. Right, okay. Back you go now, mate. Good boy. Bless him. What a little beautiful sausage dog. Yeah. Anyway, right. Predictions done. Cool. Sweet. Right. I guess now we've got to talk about. Yeah, I did kind of. I was hoping no one would notice that I flipped you all off Eclipse, but fair play. His fingers are small. Right. Come on then. Why are we waiting? The classic chant when you're waiting for the ref to make his mind up at a football match. Ah. Well, why are we still waiting to know what's happened with this bloody cost cap? Because they said, you know, the FIA, the ones who said, look, Wednesday the 5th of October, everyone's going to get issued their certificates. Bada-boom. All right, so we get up, wake up, oh, cool. Yeah, nice. Get a little stream ready. I'm like, okay, I'm primed. I'm ready. I'm on Twitter. I'm refreshing, Hear some kind of rumours from a couple of journos. Oh, you're thinking maybe like midday, 12 o'clock. Okay, fine, cool. We'll wait. 12 o'clock comes, FIA tweets, and it's just some waffle about Suzuka, right? Which, I love Suzuka as much as the next guy, but it was not the news we were waiting for, and we just keeps waiting. I actually filmed a podcast with Richard Verschaw, the F2 driver, over on Motormouth in the kind of at like 1 o'clock, and I was like, it's like sick. Get to chat to Richard, but also I really hope the news doesn't come out when we're on the podcast. Finish the podcast, check Twitter, still nothing's happened. I'm like, okay, great. And then we keep waiting, and then eventually, late in the day, the FIA say that we're not going to get the answers today. We're going to have to wait until Monday. Now, for that announcement to come so late into the day, to be such a lack of communication there, for one, right, whatever's going on, that doesn't have to be the case. I think in this instance, I think transparency. Yeah, Lewis has talked about this. In transparency is ultimately the way forwards. We got stood up by the FIA. Exactly, Fiona. That's a very good way of looking at it. We were waiting there, flowers in hand at the door, and no one answered the door. Just sat there in the rain, and it started raining, hail, and then your car breaks down on the way home. You know, thank you, Siyash, for joining Friends of Tommo. I appreciate it. So, what do we think? What do we think is the reason? I guess. Well, what do you like? I'll kind of keep an eye on chat and just pick out some people's thoughts. Because is it just incompetence? Is it because they're still checking stuff? Oh, I just lowered my desk by accident. Like why? What? Why? 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 Are they watching? Do you reckon they're watching? Do you reckon Mohammed bin Salim's watching? Right, I want to see what some of you are thinking. They don't have a story to cover up Red Bull's mistakes yet. That's what Lost Charmander says. I read that because you have a Charmander in your profile picture and your name. Maybe the team principals wanted the FIA to double check. Still trying to figure out what to do. I think they're looking at all possible penalties to distribute. Red Bull appealing the result. I think if the teams had been told that you have complied or you haven't complied, then that news wouldn't have stayed stum. That news would have got out. So I definitely think the teams are still in the dark as to whether they have, like, whether it's confirmed if they've got their certificates. Yeah. They are simply scared. Look, my issue with this, right, is that you introduced the cost cap, okay? First year of the cost cap was 2021, right? And then, you know, your accounts are submitted in the March of the following year, which makes sense because you submit your accounts at the end of that year and then the season starts in March. So it makes sense. Submit your accounts at the end of March or whenever it was in March. So you've got that kind of, that's the point that defines, like, it's March to March or end of March to beginning of April, however you want to put it, right? So this process of checking over the accounts, right, it's taken like, how many, what is it, seven months, right, since then? So it's taken 7 months for all these accounts to be checked and verified, blah, blah, blah. And I get it's the first year of the regulation, right? So this is all new. It's not like they can fall back on a process that's tried and tested, right? This is a new thing the sport is going through. But this was always going to happen. We're always going to get to a period where it is then decided whether teams have or have not, you know, operated within the cost cap, because you can't take the teams for face value, right? You've got to have a external source looking at the accounts and validating and verifying everything. Because also with accounts and where a lot of these companies, you know, they're spread over multiple businesses, people all over the world, like, I mean, like, Adrian Newey has a direct feed into Red Bull from his home, for example. Like, or at least had. I don't know if he still does. But that's like, how do you measure that? Like, there's certain things that I struggle to realize how you're going to police them, right? But this time was always going to come. But it feels like it's just like, it's like they weren't prepared for it somewhat. I don't know. It just feels super like slapdash, kicking the can down the road. Like, I struggle to believe, and you know, if anything, I'm just thinking it's maybe just general kind of incompetence, unfortunately. Because look, ultimately, I know we can joke about the pressure that we've, as a, you know, community, whether we're, you know, people speaking on Twitter or just media talking about it, sure, there's pressure there. But at the end of the day, like, you know, no one's been talking about, it's not like as soon as last year finished, right, everyone was talking about, oh, well, let's check and see if they operate within the cost cap. This cost cap conversation has only been, like, almost, I'd kind of to be honest, I'd completely forgotten about the vetting of the cost cap. I'd completely that wasn't even in my mind until these rumours started to circle before Singapore. It wasn't in my mind at all. And now it is, and it's front and center of everyone's minds seemingly at the minute, because actually it is like, oh god, yeah, like, and because Red Bull have been named in these rumours that they have overspent, and because of what happened last year, obviously that makes it even bigger. And if this was, Aston Martin and Haas that were being talked about, it wouldn't be anywhere near as big of a story. But regardless of whether or not Red Bull or Aston Martin or anyone else is guilty, I think it's a good opportunity to talk about what should happen. Obviously, I did my video on Friday last week, talking about what I think should be the case. Not much has really changed since then. But yeah, it just stinks of. I just rather they just be transparent and just communicate and be like, oh yeah, maybe it will take, like, it's going to take longer than we thought. Fine, but like, it just seems really like odd that they're not like just owning the situation and they're just keeping it all very hush hush. Because I don't think F1 can be like, this is exactly what Lewis said, and I couldn't have agreed with him more when he was saying to Sky Sports earlier in the day, like, transparency is something that the sport needs in this day and age. And because, back when we didn't have social media, we didn't have easy means to communicate our feelings as individuals out into the world, like, the sport could keep things under wraps and could keep things, hush hush. But like, as fans, we're not gonna tolerate that anymore. You know what I mean? We want to know what's going on. We want to know how things are being operated, and it's just annoying. But also, again, I think it's I think a lot of people, and I see some of you in chat, are very much jump into conclusions. Like, we don't know what's happened. We don't know who's involved. We don't know if anyone's overspent, and if they have, by how much. We don't know. And the thing is like, I think if it comes out that actually Red Bull are fine, particularly Red Bull, because I think there's obviously been a lot of talk from, whether it's Toto Wolff, Andreas Seidel. Andreas Seidel was talking about Aston Martin in terms of the big hiring, but Lauren Mekies talking about it as well. Like, if it all comes out that, because that information's come from somewhere. That information's come from somewhere, and for Toto and Mekies and others to feel confident enough to talk about it openly in such a matter-of-fact way, there's obviously some degree of reliability in the source there. But if it's not the case, then at the end of the day, like, Christian's right to be livid. Like, if it's all fine, which we don't know, then he's right to be livid and right to want answers. Because that information's come from somewhere, you know what I mean? But it remains to be seen. It remains to be seen. Do I think that, I think this system will I think this is a good test, ultimately, isn't it? Williams spending too much fixing Latifi's car. Ouch. Horner hasn't outright denied it. No, but obviously he said that what they submitted was fine. But also, I guess that's all you can do, right? All you can do as a team is submit what you think is right and what you think is under the budget cap. And then if it is found to be not under the budget cap, then obviously it's like when you submit your exam, right? You do it to what you do, what you think's right on the exam paper, and then you get fed back. And usually, unless you're a top nerd, you don't get everything right, and there will be things that are wrong and need changing. It just depends on what extent, because if Red Bull spent £2 over the cost cap, right? I don't think anyone would agree that spending £2 over the cost cap merits, removal from the championship or deletion of points, right? Not for that reason anyway, right? You can talk about, what happened with the safety car and all that, right? But I'm just talking about purely on this financial cost cap thing. If you overspend by £2, right, no one's gonna like endorse that. If you overspend by £10 million, I think there is a fair argument to deduct points, whether they are constructors or drivers. I don't know, but I think there's clearly, if it's 145 million cap and you do 155, £10 million can go a long way. So it's one of them things that there's clearly an area in the middle where there has to be a degree, and which I get it. I get why the FIA didn't if you overspend by this much, you get this penalty, because then teams can, tactically be like, okay, we can swallow that penalty if it means we get this. For example, right? Say if you spent 2% over, you would be, void of your Constructors' Championship points, for example, right? Well, I think that Red Bull last year, for example, would have been prepared to void their Constructors' points if it meant Max still won the Drivers' Championship. In my opinion, I think they would have made that, because 2% would be about 3.5 mil. So I think that would be if I was in charge, I would have been prepared to do that, because ultimately these teams are only gonna vouch for themselves. They're only gonna stick up for themselves. They're only gonna come from an angle that benefits them, because that's what they have to do. That's what they're entitled. You can't really expect the teams to vouch for what's best for the sport. They're gonna vouch for what's best for them and their businesses and their interests. I know, Toto said 4 mil spend is about 5/10 a lap. Yeah, but is it though? You can't, it doesn't work like that. It's not because 5/10, half a second a lap is a lot, and 4 million isn't that much money, relative to that gain. So yeah, we'll see. Again, I think it is a big test for this cost cap, isn't it? It's to whether it's going to be viable moving forward. I think you're never going to be able to police it 100%. I don't think that's possible. I think having it is better than not having it, but there's still going to be loopholes. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Only time will tell. Monday, hopefully, we'll know. And Monday, I might do my post-race stream Sunday, kind of afternoon, evening, and then save Monday for the big news. I mean, look, in an ideal world, everyone's fine, no one overspent, all good, right? Cool. I just hope that, because I think as well, part of the issue with going back and taking away points, right, is that you're going to get every single year, you're going to get to the end of the season, right, and someone's going to win the Drivers' Championship and someone's going to win the Constructors. And there's going to be this nagging thing in the back of everyone's minds that, in 10 months' time, it might get taken away from them because the team might have overspent. Now, obviously, in 7 months from submitting their account. So yeah, it's 10 months since Abu Dhabi, which that's not what anyone wants. No one wants that, looming over. You want to be in a position where you can. So that's why I think a sporting punishment for the following season, once the cost cap has got up and running, is the best solution. Just don't cheat easy. But also, again, there is the distinction to be made between, I think, especially this year, right? Between maliciously foregoing the rules and hiding expenditure versus, look, for me, like, intent when it comes to sport isn't a huge thing, right? If you, like in football, if you slide tackle and take someone out and don't get the ball, whether or not you meant it, I mean, you still deserve like a red card, you know what I mean? And like, it's just, I don't know. You know what as well, and I'm sure a lot of you here probably feel the same, right? The fact that so much of like the news around F1 this year, particularly, but last year as well. But last year was like there was a lot going on track, right? And it was exciting. But this year, oh my God, I just feel like we're just constantly talking about the FIA, constantly talking about like stuff off track. I'm just a bit bored of it, to be honest. I just want to talk about racing cars, man. I just want to talk about exciting wheel-to-wheel action and like, like who did what, Like, I just want to talk about the sport. And it's just boring, man. Just boring. But there you go. Then why am I talking about it? Because that's what's in that. Like, I don't want to have to talk about it, but that's what's in the, like, that's what's going on at the minute. So obviously I'm talking about it, but I don't want it to be. I don't want this to be part of the F1 news cycle. You know what I mean? I don't think you can blame Colt LH, as you call it, Senor Tommo. I appreciate your name, but I don't like, because this came from the team principals. You know what I'm saying? This came from the top. But yeah, we'll see. What are your thoughts about the new Honda news? Honda are just serial flip-floppers, aren't they? Serial flippity-floppadies. Right, what else? What else we saying, people? What else we got to chat about before I wrap up the stream? Do you think Las Vegas will be a good track? I think it'll be okay. I don't think it'll be great. But it's not too much about that, really, is it? I think they'll find a way to make it like half decent, to be honest. Oh yeah, helmet review. We've had actually, yeah. Let's get let's have a look at some driver helmets, because there have been some. I saw Mick Schumacher's. Come on, I can't type today. Mick Schumacher. Let's have a look at Mick's helmet. Mick's lid. Right, let's get the old screen share up. And boom. There we go. It's Mick's dome. I think it looks pretty cool, actually. Nicely cropped in frame. The back, side. So it's kind of this pattern all over, but it's still got his original design kind of etched in. And then the really like minimal logos. This is pretty nice. It's pretty good. You can still see his like design here. Yeah, hand painted. You can tell it's hand painted for sure, can't you? It's very nice. Very, very nice, Mick. Very good work. Very well done. Job done. So that's Mick's helmet. Yuki. I haven't actually looked at. I think I've seen an angle of Yuki's helmet, but I haven't actually seen the full. Oh, here we go. Right. Okay. Screen share again. Interesting. Don't know what this kind of orange at the front. This is for Yuki's helmet. It's not. It's a bit. It looks a bit browny orange. Maybe I'd have preferred maybe a. But I love this stuff at the top. Looks really good. Yeah, that actually, from that side profile, I think this looks really nice actually. Yeah, we'll look at bodices as well for sure. That kind of looks pretty norm. And then there's the top as well. That's very cool. That's really nice. That's really nice. Love that on the top. Yeah, the AlphaTauri logo having to be there is a bit of a shame, isn't it? It could have been better without that, but we'll see. Right. Next, Bottas. Because once again, Tiffany Cromwell, his missus, came through with the design. Let's get the screen share up. There's Valtteri with his helmet. His little hair sticking out. Cute. Yeah, it's like a kind of... Yeah, I mean, it's just sick. It's like neon lights vibes. I wonder how they painted this, because you've got... Obviously, to get the neon look, you've really got to... Obviously, you have the glossy base, but then you've got to paint it in such a way that you get that gradient. Yeah, this is pretty cool. It's got like a brick background. Yeah, I'd love to see a video of this getting painted, because I reckon this was... Look at how intricate all these little elements are here as well. Yeah, it looks very nice. Very good. Very good. From VB. Magnussen meatball helmet for next round. Evan, that's a quality idea. That is a quality idea. Yeah, I feel like... Well, because usually they don't... You can't really print onto a helmet, you know? So... Because it's a sphere, you know. But yeah, this is very decent. This is very good. And have we seen any other new lids? Any other new domes knocking about? I don't think I have. Oh yeah, Lewis has got... Oh, has anyone seen... Yeah, Lewis's new clothing stuff. He's done a collab with... I can't remember the guy's name, but he's an artist. Where's the t-shirt? Okay, yeah. So now the coat itself is cool. I don't love it. I don't hate it. But the t-shirt's really nice. The print on that looks quality. Quality. The coat's cool. But yeah. And then yeah, Ricardo's got new merch out. Anything else? Anything else going on? Anything else going on? Leclerc's helmet. Just purely on aesthetic merits. I didn't like it last week. Wasn't my cup of tea, to be honest with you. Thank you, Swapan, for the 40 rupees. Honda needs to announce 2026 before 15th of October for voting. Really? There you go. Cool. Right. Okay. I think we're done. Thank you all for coming. Appreciate you all taking the time. Good chat as usual. Again, don't forget to like the stream, subscribe to the channel, do all that good stuff. And I will see you all on... I am half tempted to get up early and do a quali stream for Saturday, just because it's really early. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. But if not, I'll probably do my post-race on like Sunday evening. And then, yeah, we just kind of keep our eyes open for Monday for the cost cap news, I guess. So, yeah. Thank you all for coming. I would grab Minton, but he's not in here at the minute. He's buggered off. So, yeah. Cheers, everyone. Stay safe, be well, be happy, be good, be kind, stay hydrated, as always. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheerio, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.